welcome to The Explainer. So if you're an e-commerce brand and you're thinking about expanding, you've got to ask yourself, where do you even start? Well, a new report from 36KR Global Research and PayPal has a pretty surprising answer. Today, we're going to tear down their 2025 cross-border e-commerce guide and really dig into why the United Kingdom might just be the most strategic market you're not focusing on. And we'll uncover the one single crucial factor you need to win there. Okay, so let's just cut right to the chase. What's the biggest, single, most important idea in this entire report? Well, the authors don't make you wait for it, which is awesome. They put their most powerful conclusion right up front, and honestly, it completely changes how you should think about the whole continent. And there it is. The report makes this incredibly bold claim. The UK is not just another market, it's a strategic hub. It's the launch pad. It's the perfect starting point for any brand that has ambitions of conquering the entire European e-commerce space. But what makes the UK such a powerful launchpad? Is it just about geography? Nope, not at all. The report backs this whole idea up with some hard numbers that lay out a pretty compelling case for the opportunity that's just waiting there. First up is just the sheer scale of it all. As of 2024, the UK is the #2 e-commerce market in all of Europe. Think about that. The only country ahead of it is Germany. That puts the UK in a very, very exclusive club. It's a market so huge you simply can't afford to ignore it. And then #2 ranking, it translates into a staggering amount of money. We're talking about a market currently valued at over $250 billion. Just let that number sink in for a second. This isn't just a marketplace, it's a full-on economic engine for online brands. And here's the why, the reason behind that massive market value. The average person in the UK has a GDP per capita of over $52,000. What that means is people aren't just window shopping. They have serious purchasing power, and they're ready to spend it on the products they really want. All right, so we've got a huge market and wealthy consumers. Check. But that's only half the story, right? To actually succeed, you have to understand the people. And this report goes deep on what makes the UK buyer tick, especially when it comes to a massive category, technology. This is the million-dollar question, isn't it? For any brand, especially in the super crowded electronic space, the answer to this is the key that unlocks the entire market. It's not about what you think is important, it's about what they truly, genuinely value. And you know what? The data is crystal clear. When a consumer in the UK is choosing an electronics brand, one factor stands head and shoulders above all the others. It's not the flashy design, it's not the latest feature, it's reliability. And here's the proof right here in the numbers. A full 50% of UK consumers, that's literally 1 out of every 2 people, say reliability is their top priority. Now, you can see that's followed by value for money and high quality, but make no mistake, reliability is the undisputed king. Now, you have to pay attention here because this slide is probably the most important one of all. This isn't just some generic global preference. Look at the numbers. At 50%, the UK's demand for reliability is a full 5 percentage points higher than the average across other huge markets like the US and Germany. That 5% gap, that is everything. That's your key strategic insight. So, what does this all mean for a brand that's trying to break into the market? Well, this data basically hands you a crystal clear playbook for how to position yourself for success and build a real sustainable advantage. So here it is. This is your game plan. The path forward is to build your entire brand around these core ideas. You have to lead all your marketing with reliable and stable performance. Back that up with good value and high quality construction. And of course, the product itself has to deliver. That's the formula that wins in the UK. Period. Okay, we've covered a ton of ground here. So, if we were to boil this whole UK market guide down to its absolute essence, what are the 3 most important things you absolutely need to walk away with? All right, here's your strategic foundation in 3 simple steps. First, the UK is not an island. It's your gateway to the entire European continent. Second, reliability is #1. You have to build your brand, your marketing, your entire promise around that one word. And third, the bar is just higher here. You can't just be reliable. You have to be more reliable than your competitors, because that's what everyone expects. And that leaves us with one final and really critical question. We now know that reliability is the master key to unlocking this massive, lucrative market. So the only question left is your brand built to be reliable?